Welcome to the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube on a Monday night. We had a big week last week for growth with the subscribers. We had 184, 16 away from that 200. So make sure y'all run it up, man. Also, if you are on a podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere there's a podcast platform, please leave a 5-star review. I saw we getting a whole bunch on Spotify, so let's keep running those up over on Spotify. But you can also leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. So please feel free to leave us a review and a 5-star rating. We definitely greatly appreciate that. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, taking them school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good?
Quick thing, just a quick nugget here. Happy tax day to everybody, by the way.
True.
The reason why y'all taxes is high because y'all voted for Trump. I'm gonna be honest. I've talked to tax professionals.
So we're bringing back schooling with shitty. That's what you're saying.
I just wanted to slip that in there. You know what I mean? But for those of us that have to pay money for taxes, it is not Joe Biden's fault. It's actually Donald Trump's fault. Do your research. But yeah, I can bring that back too. But anyways.
All I know is I got a lot of money back. I got 2 kids now. They gave me my money this year. So I'll take
it. My money, boy.
We also got your favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir 2. What's up with the Kendrick Lamar response to Drake, man?
It's coming.
Is that real? Or is it AI? I don't know. I saw some.
It's I'm getting down to the bottom of it. It sounds real. It definitely sounds real, but it's a little too weak, and I don't think Kitty will come back like that. So shout out to Drake. Shout out to Drake.
Drake did respond. It was
good music, right?
It was quite the response. So Metro, get your whole ass back on them drums.
I'm so excited for hip hop, y'all. Like y'all have no idea how long I've been waiting for this moment. It's been 10 years in the making. Like just so y'all know, it didn't start with like that. It did not start with like that. This has been 10 years in the making. Gloves off. Let's get it.
Let's get it, man. There's a thread out there that kind of discusses like where it originally started from, and it kind of goes through like all the different disses or whatever that's been going on for the past 10, 12 years. So we getting good music, man. Drake took off the gloves. Rick Ross took off the gloves. He calling Drake white boy.
Man, Tony got a nose job.
Yeah. Nose job. BBL Drake.
His mom. Yeah. Wow.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the beef. I love that we have all eyes on music right now. So I'm excited about that. But actually, all eyes tonight, according to Candy's comment, is on the WNBA draft. So I definitely want to give a shout out to the ladies that's getting drafted tonight. I know the Fevers just picked up, of course, Caitlin Clark, the Sparks gag, Cameron Brink. And I think, who was it after the Sparks? I didn't see the rest of it. I know that the Sparks got somebody else from Tennessee. But the WNBA draft is tonight. I'm curious to see where Angela Reese goes. So whenever that comes up, we'll make a comment about that. But we aren't here for WNBA tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the NBA, and Took has a trivia question for us today.
Absolutely. It should be pretty easy.
You say that it might be hard.
You know what I'm saying? Before the season ended, Malachi Flynn, he dropped 50 points from the bench.
True.
That was the first time. That was the third time since 1970 that's happened.
Third time.
Question number 1. Who was the first player to score 50 from the bench? I'll give you a hint because, of course, it's a wide array of players. It was in 1993. Again, who was the first player to score 50?
You think that was enough? We need more help than that.
Okay, 93.
Okay. I'll give you one more hit because I know it's so many people. He was in the Eastern Conference. We know the player. We know him. We don't know him as a bench player.
Oh, that hurt.
We actually know him as a starter. It was not Jordan. No, Jordan never came from the bench. Don't be disrespectful.
Who else?
93.
Not Magic. Magic retired a little bit.
Yeah. Dang, I love to say Dan Marley, but he wouldn't have been the Eastern.
All right, so Savage, I'll give you another hint. You actually said the team name he's on. Just now, and not even realize it.
The Bulls? Lakers?
Mm-mm.
Who did I say?
What?
Yeah.
Who did you say? You say Magic, right?
Oh, yeah, Magic. Okay.
Yeah, so they played for the Magic.
Nick Anderson?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I was like, wait, what? Gotcha.
Play on the words, man. Y'all know me. So yeah, 1993. Nick Anderson scored 50 points, and then the next question, there was another player who scored 51 points, who's the most off the bench. He did this in 2019, so it's very recent.
Be Crawford or Lou Will.
Of course.
I like one
of
other question.
Of course.
Hall of Famers, by the way.
Right.
Hall of Famers, they need to be inducted, by the way.
Yeah. So again, the only players to score 50 off the bench, Malachi Flynn, who just did probably a month ago, Nick Anderson, and Jamal Crawford. The more you know.
My man dropped 50 in a loss, too. That's crazy.
Yeah, lost the game. And then he scored like 3 points the next game.
Yeah. Took him off the heater.
Right.
Put the AC on his ass.
You know what's funny? I haven't watched any highlights from that game. So I have no idea how that 50 even looked. I have no idea how it looked. Like, what did he do that was just amazing off the bench? I ain't watched it.
You still going by like it?
The Raptors?
I forgot.
I can't even
that's what the young folks say is a quiet 50.
A whisper, if you would.
A whisper. Hey, he's going 50. He still lost though.
But you know what though? Like 50 points don't even feel that significant anymore because people scoring 60 and 70 points now. So it's kind of like 50. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Like score 70 and you get our attention.
Yes.
At that point.
Because 70 definitely means a win nowadays, actually.
Hopefully,
it's only guaranteed.
Devin Booker or Carlton Towns or something like that. I don't know.
Oh. All right. Let's get to it. I'm sorry.
Let's get to it, man. So I do have a clip this week. This is actually from the other day with Boban Marjanovic, man. So the Houston Rockets were up, I want to say 105-97. This game obviously didn't matter for the Clippers, and it didn't matter for the Rockets. But in light of Adam Silver suspending Jonte Porter, which we didn't talk about on this podcast because I feel like it was insignificant. But I feel like this has some level of significance given that you got dudes out here literally missing free throws on purpose for the purposes of the Clippers audience or the crowd getting some free chicken. So I'm going to play this.
Is it free chicken?
They got free chicken.
Yep.
They got free chicken. Let's press.
Eventually be some free chicken on the board if he misses the second free throw.
Oh man, free chicken on the board.
Yeah, so that's why the fans
kind of look like the chicken.
Little frothy.
Oh, they're pointing to you. Boban's playing with the crowd. Say you want chicken?
Here's your job.
Missed it on purpose.
Missed it on purpose. He's a man of the people.
He did that on purpose.
He did. He gave out free chicken.
As he should.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. I don't know how I feel about that, man.
It's not like you betting on Boban to score anyway.
Yeah, what don't you like about the clip, Savage? What don't you like about the clip, Savage? What don't you like?
He don't like Chick-fil-A.
I don't like you went out there. It's 5 minutes left in the game. You're
it's
only
winnable.
Up by 8
okay.
points. I saw T-Mac score like 13 points in 35 seconds. I know the game didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I know it didn't matter. But you go out there and you miss a free throw on purpose and you get paid to put the ball in the cup. Come on, man. Come on. It ain't like it's Houston's crowd. It was the Clippers crowd. And then you over here egging them on, trying to get them hyped up. And you go out there and you brick the free throw on purpose. On purpose, bro. Come on.
You know what this is, Sheedy? He done went to some bad service in Memphis at Chick-fil-A and they done messed him up. And now he anti-Chick-fil-A. How dare you come on your podcast and talk about how free Chick-fil-A? You would have missed a free throw too, bro. Stop. Don't do that.
We've seen worse. You know, like for instance, what was it, Lance Stevenson getting a triple-double or whatever. Like I get it. It wasn't for the fans. It was for him. But I mean, let it happen, man.
Chick-fil-A, bro.
Yeah. We seen chicken on the floor recently. So I mean, no chicken left behind.
Chicken wing on the floor.
So at this point, no chicken left behind.
Kevin Harlan went crazy. Yeah, man. I just had to ask y'all how y'all felt about that. Clearly, y'all in favor of people getting their chicken.
Absolutely.
And I ain't gonna lie. I took students to the game last week to see Wemby against the Grizzlies. And there was an and one made by the Grizzlies, and we did win free Chick-fil-A. So I can't be too mad about that.
I was just about to say that. Okay, good.
So we got free Chick-fil-A. I ain't mad about that. I will be okay with that. All right. So we did have some news that came up right before the podcast. Woes released the Team USA final roster, and me and Sheedy have already seen this. Took has not seen this, so we're gonna see if Took can guess Team USA's roster. There are 11 players, and I will see if you can guess who is on the roster. And we already talked about it beforehand. Unfortunately, Jaren Jackson Jr. did not make it to this roster, at least for right now, because they have 11 spots.
Yeah.
And Woj did say that they were going to leave one spot open. I'm curious as to what that means, but yeah. So, Toot, what you thinking?
All right, so I got 13 players. Just let me know if they on.
Okay.
Bron.
Yep.
Steph.
Yep.
KD.
Yep.
Anthony Davis.
Yep.
Bam Adebayo.
Yep.
Paulo.
Nope.
Oh, that's interesting. Jason Tatum.
Yep.
Embiid.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Devin Booker.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Three more.
Two left.
Tyrese Maxey.
Two left.
Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sorry. Tyrese Halliburton.
Halliburton made it. Yep.
That's what I meant. Jalen Brunson.
Nope.
Jimmy Butler.
Nope.
Okay, you got me. Who is
think role player.
Oh, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We finna get our asses whooped. No, I'm just playing.
Look, I was like, oh,
I'm just playing.
I feel like they needed. I thought they needed Jaren. Man. I feel like Jaren would round out the big man role, man. I feel like you need another big, because Embiid is not a guaranteed thing, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a guaranteed thing. He could easily get hurt at some point in the playoffs. He is going to get hurt in the playoffs. We know that. So, not the biggest fan of that.
Yeah.
One thing that stands out, I'm trying to be quick as possible with this, but one thing that stands out is that you got a bunch of like superstar, all-star caliber players who kind of need the ball in their hands. Where in previous years you had some role players mixed in with it, whether that's Dream Team or Redeem Team. And like you don't see like a Michael Redd on here, you don't see a Tayshaun Prince, you don't see at that time his age Jason Kidd, you don't see those kind of players. I mean, you see Drew Holiday, yeah, but you primarily got a bunch of guys who.
I mean, Savage. I disagree, bro. We ain't got no vets, and we here. We had Bron last time at the Olympics. We had Steph first / last time at the Olympics. We had, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis is a veteran now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the players we would expect to be veterans, they're veterans now. Kevin Durant, last time, hopefully not, but we here now, bro. We here, so I gotta go against that.
I'm kind of nervous about Team USA. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of nervous. Just because, like, I mean, they're probably gonna win. I mean, I ain't gonna be stupid, but like, I feel like there are gonna be way more tight games than what we're used to. That's what I would say.
Agreed.
Yeah, and people want to take back seats, right? LeBron, KD, Tatum, Embiid, Kate, and I say KD already, but like these are big names, right? And at some point, you're going to be like, hey, LeBron, you're actually not going to score all these points tonight. Or KD, we don't need you to take all these shots tonight.
LeBron might run a point, to be honest.
He might as well. Honestly, he should. If you want to be frank, he should run point. And that will allow more freedom for the KD to score, for Booker to score, and other players. And I agree. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. I think Triple J not only deserves a chance, but should actually deserve the letter to be a part of Team USA. He was proven it last.
Had a great year this year. Like he played good this year.
Like this, albeit, you know what I mean, what he had for what he had to work with. And also just last summer, like without him, Paolo not being on there, I understand.
Yeah, I get Paolo. Yeah, I get Paolo.
But I think for sure Triple J should have been there. And I also agree. I mean, Joel Embiid, we got him to do his dual citizenship, so he could be a part of it. I get it. But also injuries play a very key factor. And because of their ages as well of these veterans, I agree that there should have been a little bit more youthful pieces just in case some of these veterans go down.
At least one or two more.
Yeah, and if you look at all of them so far, Now, I'm not saying all of them are guaranteed a playoff spot, but all of them are within a playing scenario to be in the playoffs and make a run. So it'll be very interesting to see. But on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we'll make sure y'all all hear us. We are all for Triple J being actually on the roster. We all agree there.
Absolutely. I like it. Real quick, I like it. I agree with Trevor, KD being the new Captain America, because we're definitely going to need his scoring. And FIBA is more so like the way we won can be one-on-one, especially with this team. I agree with Sheedy. Bron should definitely get some time at point guard. But I'm just interested in seeing, again, Bron and Steph and KD all on the same team, to be honest with you. Like, who honestly is going to stop that big three? Let's get it going. But I'm happy we do got to be healthy. Anthony Davis, again, hopefully he stays around healthy. And Bam, of course, is going to be Bam Adebayo. But I do think Jaren deserves a spot on this for sure.
Yep. Yeah, they got one more spot available, so hopefully they give it to Jaren. I think Jaren deserves it. He's an ambassador for the NBA, and I think he'd be a good fit for that spot. All right. So enough about the Olympics. Let's talk about the past for a second, man. So, of course, we've been podcasting for 2 years now on Through the Hardaway, which is crazy. It's episode 71, y'all. Like 71 episodes Through the Hardaway is crazy. But earlier in this season, we did have our preview or our predictions for what players would win what awards. And I am here to go back in time to pull up what we actually said was going to happen. And so I will start us off with the MVP.
Oh, rip the Band-Aid off. Jesus.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off. So me and Sheedy both said that Giannis would win MVP. And if you've seen the Bucks lately, nowhere near should be MVP. Nowhere near. Took had Steph Curry, and talking about
Everybody, abort everybody. Just we low budget tell for a reason.
And Steph played well. I mean, can't get mad at Steph. Steph did his thing. Everybody else went doing their thing. So he had Steph for the MVP. DPOY, we all had different ones. I had Jaren Jackson Jr. Sheedy had Evan Mobley, who didn't have that great of a year. Took had SGA, which I'm actually not mad about. Too, I'm not mad at SGA getting DPOY love. I mean, he locks in on defense. He gonna block a shot. He gonna get some steals. He gonna rebound. That's what SGA do. So I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
Most improved player, all over the place, gentlemen. Yeah. I had Jeremy Sohan or Devin Vassell, and neither one of them dudes play well this year. But Vassell was hurt, and Sohan, he is weird. It's weird with him. I don't think they like him anymore. Took, you had Mikal Bridges, who wasn't super great, but wasn't terrible. Yeah, it was about the same. And then Sheedy, you had Tyus Jones, man.
I was trying to push, man. I thought he would be, get some assists to the pool party, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because he expected Jordan Poole to put up 25 points a game and somebody was going to pass on the ball and he was going to beat Tyus Jones, so he was going to get his assist, which meaning he probably could have averaged a double-double. I'm with it, Sheedy. I'm with it.
Thank you.
That's some bullshit, shit. Don't fall for that shit. That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit. That's the bullshit answer. Yeah, I'm trying to help him out.
So yeah, that's the most improved player. Sixth man of the year. I had Benedict Mathurin, who eventually started starting once they traded Buddy Hield. So that was kind of out of the picture. And then also he got hurt, so that kind of threw things off. Norm Powell, who actually is a sixth man of the year candidate for Sheedy and Took. Y'all had Norm Powell. He's not going to win it, but he was a candidate on at least the Vegas Insider website. And then rookie of the year, I had Wemby, of course, which is the easy answer. I mean, which Wemby played ridiculously crazy this year.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, even though it was the easy answer at the beginning, he showed improve.
Yeah, he man, it's like damn, he is. I had him as a top 3 center. I am comfortable saying he's a top 3 center right now. I really am. Is Joker, is Embiid, and it's Wemby for me. Like that's how I feel about that. Sheedy, you had Chet Holmgren, which is not a bad answer. I mean, Chet played well. Any other year, Chet could be a rookie of the year candidate. Any other year, but Wemby's is a different level of player. You had Scoot Henderson, who had an up and down year, but has been playing better lately. He's been shooting better the past couple of games. So he kind of had that Cade Cunningham, switch that flip towards the end of the season, and he started playing better. So I mean, of course, Wemby and Chet were the favorites going into it, and then Scoot is playing better, so I'm happy to see that. And then Coach of the Year, we all had it right, man. Mark D, what I'm calling him. I don't know his last name. We ain't know
Marky D.
time either. Marky D.
Marky
we
D.
gonna call him. We all picked him. OKC's coach, and I think it's a clear cut win for him. He's gonna win it because I mean they're the number 1 seed in the West. They're like a relatively young team, and yeah. So thoughts on y'all selections for your different awards for this year?
That's what I can say for now. You just never know what's going to happen, man. That's a beautiful thing about predictions. It's cute.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about it's not we're not a gambling place, but like placing your bets in certain people, whether they win or lose. I'm not upset with whatever we said, especially MVP. It is what it is.
Yeah.
With Giannis and other things, but I mean, I think what we saw this year was just great basketball around. So it's hard to even now. I think the MVP is really still up for discussion, right? I think some other players or places are still kind of locked down, but MVP is one that's up there. So I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Tyus Jones, you let me down for sure, though, for MIP. But it is what it is.
I think with me, how Wemby's the favorite to win, or is it still Shaq for Vegas?
Right now, I go through Vegas's. I go through the favorites. For MVP, the order is Joker, and then SGA, Luka, Giannis, and then Jason Tatum. They got Joker minus 1,200, so that's like a lot. They pretty much saying he gonna win that joint.
He gonna win? Okay, interesting.
Rookie of the year, they got Wemby minus 250, Chet plus 200. So that's close.
Nice. Okay.
And then the next one, Brandon Miller is like 25,000 plus 25,000. It's just like nah.
No.
Sixth man of the year, they got Malik Monk winning at minus 700, which he had a great year, and then he got hurt, unfortunately. Nas Reed played very well for Timberwolves. Nas Reed's next. Then they got Norm Powell at plus 4,000. DPOY, I feel like they sleeping on Wemby, man. Wemby had a great year blocking shots, man. But they got Gobert minus 1,200, and then Wemby is plus 700. Most improved, they got Maxey, which makes sense. I mean, Maxey all-star this year. So where he was selected in the draft. And then after him, they got Kobe White, which Kobe White balled out this year as well, too. So I'm not mad at that. And then coach of the year, our guy, Mark D, at minus 450 is going to win that. Right behind him is Jamal Mosley for the Orlando Magic. So those are the odds-on favorites now, which I don't have a problem really with any of them. I think the ones you could have a debate about is the MVP, though, because you can make a statement for a case for SGA, number 1 seed, young player that elevated his team. He's going to be an all-NBA, first team all-NBA again this year. So I feel like that's consistency for him, at least in the regular season. And you got to reward them for winning, man. Like they win those games due in part because, I mean, SGA is the guy. You know what I'm saying? But Jokic is right, Joker. Jokic is the favorite right now, and they got Luka at plus 2,000. It was Luka the other day at number 2, and then SGA bumped up to number 2 after that.
I don't understand the Luka for a number. I just don't understand for now. For now, that's me. Even though I watch them play and these triple doubles, but
I mean, but I think that's what it is, though. Yeah, it's the stats, and that's nobody's. Sheeta, you talked about how the Mavericks is going to be a good team this season. So I mean, that's according to Luka, that's it. And then he put up crazy super numbers.
He going crazy.
He put up like 30 on every team this season, something like that. Like it's crazy.
Hey, too, you ever play My Career and you like happen to see like the little like the game breakaways where they'll show like such and such as player of the month, and then it'll show Luka. Luka had like 40 points. 15 assists, and he legit doing that right now.
Literally right now. I'm like, I look and I be seeing it. I'm like, damn, he be doing that shit in real life.
In real life, like legit. It's like, damn. I mean, and they looking good right now. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm kind of questioning if they're gonna beat the Clippers or not, man. That first.
Don't question that.
Real quick, I do want to give credit to Wemby. The reason I didn't pick Wemby is because I didn't expect him to last the season, and he played 71 games. Like that's That's impressive to me, and I didn't expect it at all. So the alien, we see the Nike logo. Y'all know what y'all doing with that. But it's shout out to Wemby. Crazy, beautiful career that we're about to witness in San Antonio yet again.
Speaking of that, Chet played 82.
Yeah, why?
Man, for Chet, man, after not playing at all last year, and people questioned him about his ligaments, about can he play, and he played. So gotta respect.
And also, I didn't hear you say Anthony Edwards. Like, how he cannot be there. That makes no sense to me. A team that had to do a play-in last year was an 8th seed. They were contending for the number 1 seed. We get it. They didn't get the number 1 seed, but they lost about 1 game, ladies and gentlemen. Team is pretty much the same. He has made an assertion as being one of the best in the league right now. He should be all NBA honors. He's not getting a look. Jalen Brunson.
No, it's not crazy to me, because if you ask me who's had a better season between Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards, to me personally, it would be Jalen Brunson.
Okay, but why are they not? Why are they not in MVP?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll answer
that.
MVP. Yeah. Because if you talk about Anthony Edwards, I would consider Anthony Edwards in an MVP if he was averaging 27, 28, 29 a game. Like that, and that was my thing coming on this spot. I think I've said before. It's like, y'all know I love me some Ant-Man, but at the same time, averaging 25 points a game is it. When I know you can do way more than 25 points a game. I'm a numbers person, and we got SGA, Luka, and Jokic. Them 3 right there got crazy numbers right off the jump. So if I'm looking at Ant-Man's stats and I'm seeing that they're winning based on defense, it's not really impressive to
me. That's fair.
Yeah, fair.
What about Brunson though?
I was gonna say, so why is Brunson not in the conversation? He should be in the conversation as well.
I would say this: Jalen Brunson is on my first NBA team. I'll tell you that.
All NBA.
All NBA. How would you say that shit? The first team. He's on my first All NBA team.
But to the point that you just made, why is he not considered in the MVP voting then? Because I can agree with what you just said.
I was like, Randall been hurt, OG been hurt, RJ Barrett is gone. So
I'm with it, but because not directly speak for itself, the numbers, because they're not number 1 in the East, people gonna look at Tatum rather than Jalen Brunson at first, or people still gonna look at Giannis before Jalen Brunson. And I'm with y'all. Like I told you, I got Jalen Brunson on my first team, so I'm with it. But as far as MVP go, it's like, are you the best player in the league? That's when I look at MVPs for. We can say that for Jokic, we can say that for SGA, we can debate that about Luka. We can't really debate that about, based on the numbers, Anthony Edwards or Jalen Brunson just yet.
Ain't mad at that. I like the explanation, because I wouldn't say that Brunson or Ant-Man just yet are the best player in the league. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree there.
I'm trying to agree with that. Okay, fair enough, man. We talked about the playoffs a little bit. Now we can kind of get into it, man. So the NBA play-in is set in stone. Sheedy, your Miami Heat are in the play-in.
Heating up.
Matter of fact,
let me heat up.
Let me pull up the actual play-in. So we're gonna start out east, man, since that's where the sun rises. Heat are playing at the Sixers. That's our first matchup. Sheedy, you are the resident Heat fan. You know more about the Heat than a lot of us do. Many of us, I would say. And I just want to know your thoughts on that matchup. You got Jimmy Butler going up against his old team. Maxey playing crazy. Embiid is back, but he's been on and off hurt here and there. It's time now, right? It's time for the Miami Heat. But how are you feeling? How are we feeling?
Tobias Harris over me?
Over me?
And still Tobias in them street clothes making $40 million. I've tweeted about this and I've said it on here, but let me say it again. Last year, I was way more confident going into what we're going into now. I did not want us in a playing scenario, and we literally played ourselves into the playing scenario. We would have been better suited as a 6 seed. I've said that already. Either 6 seed or don't even play in the playoffs, to be honest. Because if we don't beat the 76ers, ladies and gentlemen, Spo, hear me out. If we don't beat the 76ers, put in all the reserves. Put in all the G-force. Bring them all up. what you don't want to see the Celtics first round, period, point blank. So we have to win that game in Philly, which I think we just lost to Philadelphia recently. And I think it was at Philly. But I can't remember. But that was Joel Embiid return game, I think, actually. And we lost. As much as I would like to progress with this season, I also say that the Knicks, to me, was the best team to beat the Celtics. And I actually don't want to see them in the first round either because of OG. So,
real quick, the Knicks are 20-2 with OG and Brunson play. 20-2. That's crazy.
And the one game that they lost, Jalen Brunson didn't play. So, yes, I lose, Miami. Just be gone. Let somebody else take them L's this year.
So the question I have for you then, are they beating Philadelphia? Because I think they are.
You don't sound too confident.
I know.
I think they are. It sounds like we got more confidence than he do.
Right.
Yes, you do. Because we don't have a great track record on the road this season.
But it's time. It's time, man.
It is time. And I saw Jimmy with his little cameo talking about how, people fear him in the Miami Heat come playoff time. I'll be honest, I don't fear this season like I did last season. I'll just leave it at that. So I say that we lose the 76ers and we need to lose the next game. That's me.
Wow.
Now, if this turns around and we actually become the 7th seed, you'll hear me be a little bit different. But I don't see it right now. We're not.
I think
beat the
Miami
Raptors
don't want
twice
to
in a row, I don't care. What's that? Say it again.
I said I think Miami does not want to play Boston, and so to that reason, they're gonna be motivated to give all their effort against Philadelphia. Because if you lose Philadelphia, like you said, it's a wrap. But because Miami is here and they're bad about it, in my opinion, for what I saw last year, that's even more of a reason for them to go out and win this game against Philadelphia and then play New York, which historically that's the matchup, Miami and New York. That's what it is. And so I'm confident. I think Miami is time. You got all your resources available. Tyler Hero out there playing ball. He's healthy. You got Terry Rozier hopefully. I think it's time, man. I think y'all want to avoid Boston for as long as possible. And in theory, if you are the 7th seed, you're avoiding them until the final, until the East Conference Finals. In theory.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Lost.
I watched them lose twice.
Yes.
Nah, I think the Bucks punked out, bro. The Bucks punked out like they normally do.
Yeah, they laid down.
They the 3rd seed, man. They ain't want none of this Heat smoke, bro. But I do got the Heat beating the Sixers. I do got the Heat. I just feel it. For whatever reason, it's playoff Jimmy time, and I think, like you said, they rather go against the Celtics later on than right off the jump. Because if you ask me, whoever do win that matchup is going to go to the NBA Finals, whether that's in the first round or in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's just how I feel. But I do want Heat and Sixers, not Heat Sixers. I do want the Heat Knicks. That'll be a real fun series to see. I think the Heat are still more battle tested for the Knicks than the Celtics. Every team should try to stay away from the Celtics at this point, even though it's inevitable. Stay away from them.
Yeah, man. You know what it is, Sheedy. Watch. I can't wait. Watch.
I'm blue. I'm blue when it comes time.
Now, this next matchup, I give 2 shits, man, because I feel like none of these teams make the playoffs. Hawks and Bulls, I don't really care. It's a matter of Heat and Sixers for me. I don't really care. I think it's gonna be Miami and it's gonna be Philadelphia in some shape or fashion. I think in terms of like the aesthetics, I am curious about Philadelphia and Boston. I'll be curious to watch that just to see, and we can get into the Eastern Conference at some point a little bit down the road, but like Boston better win is what I would say, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So do y'all think Hawks or Bulls going to playoffs at all? Because I don't think so.
If it's not the Heat, let's go Hawks. Y'all done disrespected Trae Young too much on this goddamn podcast. So again, if the Heat don't make it, let's go Hawks.
But when they get in because of DeJounte Murray, not Trae Young?
Both.
Because Trae Young been hurt. Trae Young been hurt.
That's what you call a team. Team. It's a team effort.
A team of lemon
crazy.
peppers. I got you. Yeah, give me the Hawks.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go out west, man, because I don't care about Hawks and Bulls.
Yes,
West
sir.
is where it gets interesting.
Them
So the
boys were
first
snuck into
matchup-
the 6.
Yeah, man, look. Lakers at Pelicans, right? I just saw LeBron them whoop on the Pelicans the other day, right? In New Orleans, right? Right. So I'm like, let me go down and look at the standings real quick. And I talked about this earlier in the podcast. I learned my lesson last year. I'm not no dummy. I've learned my lesson. The number 2 seed right now is the Denver Nuggets, who the Lakers, I think, don't want any part of, in my opinion. You don't want to see the Nuggets in the first round. So if I'm LeBron, I know I get 2 shots at this, right? And I know I have a home game in my back pocket, right? So I can just really chill on the Pelicans for that first game. Pelicans, they can get in, sure. Congratulations. Here you go, Zion. There you go. And then I get to either A, whoop on the Sacramento Kings because they ain't beating the Lakers. We know that. Or I get to send Steph Curry ass home on my court. Give me all this. So I got Pelicans beating the Lakers, knowing that the Lakers can beat the Pelicans. They know they can do that. But the Lakers, they are looking at that OKC series and saying, I got a young team that I can whoop on. AD versus Chet Holmgren. Give me that all day long. So I think it's gonna be Pelicans and it's gonna be Lakers.
Go ahead, too.
Took's in thought.
Yeah, I am because and we kind of talked about this on Let's Be Real. Make sure y'all go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I didn't expect was the Suns to be a 6 seed. They actually snuck into the 6 seed. So again, salute to them, which kind of makes my want for the Lakers to beat the Pelicans that much more, right? Because if it's any team that the Warriors can't face without another certain player, it's the Lakers. Like LeBron got the Warriors number. I don't care what it is. They actually just beat the Lakers. The Warriors are on an 8-2 game win streak, so they're kind of heating up at the right moment. But I think I don't want to pick the Pelicans because they're not better than the Lakers. They're not better than the Warriors. They've had good runs, which make their records better, but they just not. And I feel like everything you just said about the Lakers is right. It's 100% right. So that's why I'm kind of in thought, because I don't want the Lakers to fall to the Pelicans like that. So let's say hypothetically that do happen. I still want the Warriors to beat the Lakers. But will it happen? No. So I guess I gotta go Lakers beating the Pelicans, even though I feel like what you said is definitely gonna come true. I'm going to go with Lakers beating the Pelicans. I'm going to go with Warriors getting that AFC. That's the only thing. As the Warriors fan that I am, that don't want to see the dynasty end this year still. Prolong the dynasty, keep it going, make the AC. That's what I want. But will it happen?
You get the Pelicans losing twice on their home court back to back?
Yeah. And because they've had good moments, but they're not better than Lakers. They're not better than the Warriors. And for the Lakers to back down, which they've done before, which Brian has backed down before, it can happen.
Fair. That's fair.
The Pelicans won't lose 3 straight. They're not going to lose 3 straight. So I'm in complete agreement with Savage in regards to Lakers don't play as hard against the Pelicans because they just did what they need to do to beat the Pelicans. Very rarely are you going to see a team get outs like that 2 games in a row. Very rarely. So I believe the Lakers are going to lose the game so they can match up in the number 1 seed. To Candy's point about people ducking, I've said this since the play-in has begun. The strength of where you're at is more or less in the 7th and 8th seed as it is opposed to the 1 and 2. 7 and 8 really determine who to play. Do you duck this team? Do you play this team? Or do you sit your people out and not give your all and play again and try again on your home court? It has been the advantage of the play-in, so we speak it. As a matter of fact, this is what I want to say real quick. Quick caveat. The Cleveland Cavaliers did exactly what the Savages discussing. The Cavs just got done losing to the Hornets, but they were up by 8 going into the fourth quarter. Did not play their starters. Had Tristan Thompson out there longer than he's done a sex video. And all of a sudden, the Cavs lose. Okay? Why on God's green earth, JB Bickerstaff, did you say, oh, I'm not going to play my starters in the fourth quarter? Because if you don't lose in the first round to the Magic, which I hope the Magic win, by the way, you for damn sure ain't getting past the second round in the Celtics. What a dumb move. But if you win that game, you're at least a third seed. Idiots. Anyways, I'm done about that. Again, it's all about seeding. And again, for people to understand, the power is really, the playing tournament is really I'm just calling what Tristan Thompson, what he do, is really in the 7th and 8th seed. It's not in the 1st and 2nd seed. I don't know. He took some time off from basketball. I don't know what he did. He went to Sacramento, did some stuff. I don't know. Got some rings out of it, though, I guess.
She's stupid. Yeah, man. So the play-in starts tomorrow. I think it's the Western Conference first. So we're gonna see real quick as to what's about to happen with LeBron and them, because I just feel that's what's gonna happen. He gonna call his shot, play lackadaisical. You get 2 home games, you get 2 chances to win. And like I said, what better way than to beat the Kings, who are not that good, or Steph Curry, who you have a leg up on right now. So let's get right into the predictions then for the first round anyway. We're not going to do the whole NBA Finals. We ain't doing that. But we are going to discuss the first round matchups. And I'm going to just run through them, starting from the Eastern Conference at the top. Does anybody have a chance of beating Boston in the first round?
No, not even Miami, no.
If it is a team, it would be Miami.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy that we do think opposite of the Heat. But if it is a team, Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, I'm not playing with.
I don't think anybody can beat Boston in the first round. I think if Miami gets there, I think Boston gonna handle business. They should handle business in that first round. Mm-hmm. All right, next up this will be New York versus whoever. What do y'all think is New York's most unfavorable matchup? I said it before. I think it's Miami. I don't think they want to see Miami again in the playoffs.
Yeah, to your point, and I was talking to a Knicks fan earlier today. The Knicks would love to play with Miami. Would be the better one. They actually, to me, match up pretty well against the 76ers because you have 2 centers you can really throw at Joel, no matter what.
Yeah, Robinson.
And Robinson, right? And then if they go small, Precious Achiuwa is available as well. Mm-hmm. So that team, realistically, they would rather play the 76ers than the Heat, in my opinion. And that goes for the rest of the talent, whoever else, 9, 10, whoever. We said the Hawks. If the Hawks win, actually, they wouldn't be the 7th seed. It'd actually be the 76ers or the Heat. So, again, to my knowledge, I think the Knicks rather play the 76ers because I think they can really beat the 76ers and maybe 5.
I just want to say the last time we saw Trae Young in New York in the playoffs ain't too good for the Knicks. Just want to remind everybody.
You're quiet, this motherfucker. Just
want to remind.
However, though, the Hawks can only get to the 8th seed, though, so they can only hold in Boston or get the asses whooped again.
All right, man. Next series, Milwaukee and Indiana, man. They got some history this season. Indiana has pretty much whooped Milwaukee's ass all year. But Indiana is not the same team from early in the season. Halliburton had that injury. He came back, has not looked as good. They still figuring out how to incorporate Pascal into the system. I think it might take them a year to figure that out, at least to move some more pieces around it. But at the same time, Milwaukee is trash. Like, I know they get a below 500 record with Glenn Doc Rivers, and they don't look very inspiring at all. But with this matchup, I'm just curious to see if Doc Rivers is going to flame out in the first round. Because I think if he gets out in the first round, he's going to be gone. And then you're paying 3 coaches. You're paying Coach Bud, Coach Griffin, and Coach Doc, and they're paying this 4th coach down the road. So who do y'all have in this series? I am picking Milwaukee in 6 games. They better win. Milwaukee in 6 is what I get.
Yeah, and I think I also will take Milwaukee in 6. And if Milwaukee doesn't get this done, I think you also have to revisit, is Dame the answer? And
I think they lose first round. Dame gonna get traded again.
Yeah.
He got to.
Yeah. So for Milwaukee's sake and Glenn's sake, 6. Sorry, dude.
No, you good. I'm gonna go Indiana in 7.
Woo!
Indiana in 7 because, and it's hard for me because, like I told y'all before, I know the potential that the Bucks have. I know what they can do, but it's them X factors. Giannis coming into the playoffs hurt, and Dame having a season like this, taking a step back. It may be Dame time for a couple of games, but you still gotta worry about who coaching you. Which on this podcast for life at this damn point, y'all been telling me about Glenn Rivers, and your coaching is like, why the hell did they fire Adrian Griffin? Like, it don't make sense. I bet, like, hindsight 2020, Adrian Griffin is like, hey, I'm so happy they fired me.
His stock is going up, man. His stock going up.
Stock is going way up. Come on now, somebody get that black man. Somebody get that black man on the Oak Grove. Like, come on, bro. He's definitely deserved to be a coach. But Glenn Rivers and an injured Giannis, don't play with me, dog. Give me Indiana at 7. Glenn Rivers gonna show y'all exactly why we don't call him Doc on this podcast, and it's gonna make the trade for Dame seem that much worse, and hopefully it does devalue Dame. And I mean this 100% respectfully, because at the end of the day, he should still be on the Heat. And there's nothing anybody can tell me of why the Portland Trailblazers didn't send Dame to the Heat outside of the NBA stuff. Like, that's bull. Like, come on.
I tell you what, if the Pacers beat the Milwaukee Bucks, I will give you an ISO too. You can do your victory lap on Giannis, your victory lap on the Bucks. I will give you the ISO because I feel like
sit it and put it again.
Man, like, I feel like it could happen. Like, I'm literally like, I got Milwaukee in 6, but I just know if the Pacers just turn it on offensively, they don't play defense, obviously, but it ain't like Milwaukee knocking down threes like that. So if Indiana turns it on offensively, it could be like we scored 140 points. We gave up 120. We still won by 20. You know what I'm saying? So it could happen.
Real quick,
it very could happen.
Real quick, Sheedy, if I say one word, why did the Heat beat the Bucks last year? What would you say? In one word. What was a major difference?
You want me to say Giannis here or Jimmy?
No, coaching.
Okay, I give you that. So you got Rick Carlisle is greater than Glenn Rivers. I agree.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah. Okay. I would have said injury, but we ain't gonna say nothing about that.
That can't be in his case. That can't be in his case because they won their only game when he was injured, so it helped him. Nope. Nope.
Chris Middleton had a game that day.
Shout out to Drew too.
All right, next series. This one's interesting, man. Cleveland and Orlando. Cleveland kind of had an up and down year. Orlando turned it all the way up this year. With Paolo having a great year. He's an all-star. Franz Wagner is there. You got Cole Anthony. You got Markelle Fultz. A young upstart Orlando Magic team. I actually think Orlando's gonna win this series.
Of course.
And they're gonna win it. They're gonna win it in 7 games, man. It's time. I don't think nobody who on Cleveland guarding Paolo. Who guarding 6'10", 250, man? Who guarding it? Now, flip side of that, Donovan Mitchell, when he's on, nobody can guard him either.
That's what I was gonna hit you with.
But I'm sending bodies at Donovan Mitchell. They got a bunch of 16. I got Jonathan Isaac, who's healthy. His political opinions aside, Jonathan Isaac is healthy, ladies and gentlemen. And if you tell him, hey, go lock up Spider Mitchell, the man can do it. He can do it. So I think for that reason, I'm gonna roll with Orlando in 7. And I think Cleveland's gonna have some offseason questions because there are some rumblings around Spider Mitchell, which we talked about on this podcast for years now. Spider Mitchell wanting to get out of Cleveland.
It shouldn't be in Cleveland, really.
Shouldn't be. Should be in New York, but whatever.
I already said what I said. the Cavs, this is legitimately going to be your downfall because JB Biggerstaff chose not to put y'all in to the fourth quarter to be a 3 seed. You are now, it's over with. I got the Magic winning the series as well. I think it might go 6 games, to be honest, and they win it in Orlando. Okay. Just not to give another game, you know what I'm saying, per se. Mm-hmm. What was the reason? And let's just a quick, and we don't have to really have a dialogue about this. The Cavs' reason for losing last season, which they were a 4 seed, right?
Yeah,
size. There we go.
Killed by Randall and them.
Got killed in the post. Now, I don't think they'll necessarily get killed in the post like they did last season, but Paolo's going to stretch you out. Mm-hmm. So Evan Mobley, whoever, one of those two is going to play themselves out of the game. Right? And then that's going to leave it open, the lane for Wagner, Zers, to do what they do. And to be honest, it's going to cause a lot more controversy in Cleveland. And to the point that we've made already, you cannot continue with this Garland and Spider talk. Done with. After this season, close it. But I got the Magic as well winning. And I'm saying in 6 because I think they're going to win it at Epcot Center, whatever it is in Orlando, whatever. Don't even matter to me.
Okay.
I guess you can call me the different maker with this pod, which I may not do. But everything that you just described as Paolo spreading the floor, which is 100% true, you're also leaving a lack of defense in the paint, which means it's going to be barbecue chicken for Donovan Mitchell, which means it's still going to be barbecue chicken for Garland. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers just simply based on experience as well. When you look at their roster, you do got players who've been in the playoffs before, where you're talking about Mitchell or Jared Allen or even Karis LeVert, who's having a really good season, or even you got Max Strus. Like these are the reasons why you went out and got a Max Strus and, you know what I'm saying, at a Coro. Like it's go time for the Cavs. And I'm with it. It may be tension with the Cavs to get Mitchell out of there. Like, again, I still don't see why he's on that team to begin with, but you still got to respect what he can do. And if you go into this series with Paolo playing more minutes at center than Wendell Carter or whoever else the Magic may got, I think there may be an issue that, like I said, as far as like paint scoring, because like you still gonna have Jared Allen, which it's been good, who's been great, who's having an underrated season, being a playmaker as well. So he may play himself off, but at the same time, Evan Mobley is taking that next step as far as being. I think y'all are underrating the playmaking for Mobley and Jared Allen as well. So I'm happy to see this series against a young team. Savage, you've been talking about the Magic for the last 2 years, so definitely get your time to shine with this one. But I'm expecting the Cavs to be the more professional, the more get it done team than the Magic.
We gonna see if Bickerstaff can coach. I feel like if he gets out coached by
Agreed.
It's gonna be a problem for Cleveland.
Yeah, a lot of questions need to be answered after that one. Yes,
100% agreed.
All right. Next up out west, Oklahoma City versus I got whoever it is. If it is the Lakers, I am very interested to see what happens. What up, Aiden? I am very interested to see what happens. I feel like if it's anybody else, if it's the Warriors, if it's the Kings, and then they won't play the Pelicans or one of those teams, Pelicans or Lakers. But I feel like based on my scenario, it'll be against the Lakers. And I don't want to be a punk and not pick between Oklahoma City and the Lakers. I'll say this. Oklahoma City better win this first round matchup, or it's going to be 100,000 Grizzlies fans at their door when they get eliminated. Because them folks, Grizzlies fans hate the Thunder for some reason. They hate them folks. So they going to be clowning their ass if they lose to, like, especially the Lakers. They lose to the Lakers, it's gonna be hilarious. But I think regardless, Oklahoma City should win their first round matchup. They're going to win it, I'm going to say in like 6 games, 5-6 games, whoever they play.
I'm with it.
I'm here too.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I'm with it. I agree. The same thing. I think it is SGA's time to shine. Even though they are, like I've seen it, of course, on the Grizz Twitter, they still an eye afloat, which I 100% agree with. Like, I'm not trying to see Josh Giddey with a chain on, even though he was in the background, which he should have been. Like, come on. But when you talk about OKC, I think JJ Redick broke it down. One of the things that he's doing is, and something that I want to see us do because it's a lot of fun. He's doing a draft of like past players, like for example, Shaq. What would Shaq look like in today's NBA era? And he goes down and break down the teammates who would be perfect with him. Two of the players that he broke down was Lou Dort and Jalen Williams. When you talk about both of them, they are very, very good defenders. Great defenders, if you will, and they're probably some of the better, if not the best, especially with Jalen Williams. He is, quote unquote, the best catcher shooter in the league, which I didn't know. So shout out to JJ Redick for bringing up that. So when you talk about SGA, who can put up 30 any given night, and this is the help that he got, he should be a favorite. The Thunder should, numbers wise, be a favorite to go all the way. But again, experience will come and take over. If they go against the Lakers, it'll be 7. But if they go against the Warriors, anybody else, it'll probably be 5 or 6. But the Lakers, they love the young teams. They love kicking the young teams' asses for whatever reason. Call it Bron being Grandpa Bron. But like I said, if it's the Lakers, they ain't going to go out with a fight. But if it's anybody else, they get them out 5 or 6.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone else besides the Lakers, they're done in 5. I think OKC needed to have the number 1 seed. That was important for them the entire year. And so kudos for them for getting it. If they have to play the Lakers, that's them in 7. OKC in 7. I agree with everything that everyone has said, especially to the Grizzlies family, because if they are not in the second round, then oh my God, everybody's going to be on their butt about it. So yes, I got OKC in 7, nonetheless, with the Lakers, because I got the Lakers winning the play-in to be the 8th seed. But if they play anybody else, OKC can get them done in 5. It might mess around and be 4, to be honest, but I'll give them 5 just for the love.
All right. Next matchup. Is anybody beating Denver? I don't think so. Lakers or Pelicans? I don't think so.
Nah,
next slide. It's like the Celtics.
Okay. I'm glad we're all in agreement with that.
We're all in agreement.
I don't like anybody beating Denver. All right, so the next matchup, Minnesota versus Phoenix. I want to hear your thoughts, too. What you
Phoenix, this is solid performance by Phoenix. They turning it up when it's time to turn it up, too. Even though the Mavericks, not the goddamn Mavericks, the Timberwolves are the number 1 team defensively. When we talk about what Phoenix can do as far as like offense, this is why I told everybody, this is why they went and got Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal just went stupid on them, I think, last game, actually, if you want to be real about it. And I think that may be a continuation of what we see. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, whatever. So, I mean, thank God they got Cat back, but Rudy Gobert is going to be key. How much time he's going to play on the court is going to be key. But like I said, when you talk about the big 3 in Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and KD, that's way too much offense. And you talking about somebody that's like, all right, offense wins championship. Now, it's about to prove it. Point proven. So, Timberwolves still a young team. Ant-Man ready to take that next step. Maybe this could be a way for us to see Ant-Man really taking that next step if he can beat this Phoenix Suns team. But do I see it happening this year? Nah, I don't.
Okay, Sheedy?
Hell no. Give me the Timberwolves. I've seen enough out of this Phoenix team. And I just was tweeting about this earlier as well. Like, I don't even understand where they're getting the damn money to even pay anybody.
Yeah, Grayson Allen, 4 years, $70 million.
Like, what? How? What? Ain't y'all giving them? Like, it is what it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, nonetheless, if the Timberwolves, the same way the Minnesota, OKC needs to win their first round, Minnesota needs to win their first round.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then you start furniture moving the head coach to begin with Finch, and then move on from there. But I really believe, I think we've come on this podcast saying, I think so you actually brought it up, I think Minnesota's got the best defense right now. And when it comes playoff time, offense wins championships, as you say. I'm going to stick to the defensive guns and the slowing down of the game. Unless Phoenix can get over their fourth quarter woes that they've had all season all of a sudden, then I am sticking to Minnesota winning this in 6 or 7. I think it will be a fight. And I love these West matchups besides the 2-7. But I got to go with Ant. And I think he's got enough to carry the team of the Timberwolves with him, put Minnesota on his back. Then Karl Towns, we in Minnesota now, so what you got for him? So I got the Timberwolves winning this series, and I said 6 or 7. It really don't matter. I'll say 7, I guess.
Okay. I will be the tiebreaker then. The Suns are 3-0 versus Timberwolves this year. And defense does matter, but we've seen the Utah Jazz have the best defense in the Western Conference when it had Gobert, and Gobert literally got played off the court. I'm rolling with the Suns, man. I think the Suns are going to win it in 6 games. I think their offensive firepower is going to be too much for the Minnesota defense. I think you're going to have shooting for Kevin Durant, from Brad Beal, from Devin Booker, and the aforementioned Grayson Allen, who's a marksman this year, having a career high in points per game. They might not, play great defense, but I think for this matchup, in terms of like Minnesota's not going to be like knocking down threes to the extent that I think Phoenix is going to be doing it in terms of like scoring off their jump shots. And we literally saw them last year when it was Book and Kevin Durant going up against the best team in the NBA, in the Denver Nuggets, and gave them the toughest challenge. I feel like this is going to be barbecue chicken for the Phoenix Suns, and I think it's going to be a 6-game series. Timberwolves are too young. Maybe next year, maybe not next year. We don't know. But I think Phoenix this is what they came to play for. This is why you get Brad Beal. You brought him for this moment when you don't want Booker and KD scoring by themselves. You need that third option in case, KD or Booker need to sit down for a couple of minutes. You got Brad Beal that can do it, and he won't be double teamed. So give me the Suns in 6 games. I'll take that. All right, last matchup is Clippers and Mavericks. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard was kind of gimpy the other day with the injury. He has played 65-plus games this year. Paul George getting a little bit older, but the Clippers did have a pretty decent season compared to previous years. Everybody's playing because they want to meet that threshold for the All-NBA teams. And the Mavericks been hooping lately. Luka Doncic is an MVP candidate. Kyrie had a quiet year in terms of like off the court stuff, but he's been playing well offensively. Dallas looks good. I think this is a pretty even matchup. That being said, I'm going to pick Mavericks in 7 because I think that the Clippers are going to have an injury at some point from either Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, mainly Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard is not going to be 100%, which is going to impact the Clippers' ability to win this series. And so I'm going to pick Mavericks in 7. I think Luka is going to step up. It's his time of the year. It's half-court offense. It's going to be slow it down, get a bucket. And I think that's what's going to happen from either Luka and or Kyrie. So give me Mavericks in 7.
Shitty, can you answer next, please? Because I still don't know.
He still don't know.
Yeah, no problem, brother. The issue that I have, and I've mulled this over too, so I understand. I said the Clippers are going to win before the season started. And I've also come on this podcast and said recently how great the Mavericks are playing right now.
True.
And the problem that I have right now is I have seen and felt firsthand what happens when the Mavericks start playing pretty good. And I mean, it's ugly. And so with that said, I have to go against my belief of having the Clippers win. And I have to roll with the Mavericks. And because I'm rolling with the Mavericks, I think it might not even go 7, Savage. I think they'll be done a little bit sooner. And this will start the breakup of the Clippers to where Paul George does. We'll get there. But I got Mavericks. I'm going to say Mavericks in 6. And sorry, Clippers. But if you win this series, I'm right back on your bandwagon. But you run into my problem here in teams being hot right now, and the Mavericks are hot.
Red hot, yep.
I'll take that.
So the thing with the Clippers is that I've called them healthy. I'll call them the best team in the Western Conference outside the Denver Nuggets on this podcast. And healthy, it's like Kawhi. Are you playing? Is he going to play? How are you coming into the playoffs? Which
Ty
is
Lue
why
even know.
Like exactly, and like Kawhi's had a great season. We hadn't said one bad word about Kawhi on this podcast all year, and now it's playoff time, and we bringing up everything that we're supposed. Like, come on, dog. So how am I supposed to answer this? Because healthy, yes, they should beat the Mavericks. Unhealthy, you beat the Clippers and you come into my, Grizz ball, my Grizz father ball of wanting Ty Lue on the team. Like, you go into a new stadium next season, so you kind of don't want to lose in the first round. But then again, who's going to be playing? Because Kawhi was going to be that. The reason I put so much on Kawhi because he was going to outbalance what James Harden just normally does in the playoffs. So it's like if you don't have a healthy Kawhi, therefore the James Harden thing is going to come to fruition. That's why I really like. It's one of my honestly, it's probably my favorite matchup to be honest with you because of questions like this. But it's like it's also harder for me to answer. But I am going to give an answer, and I'm gonna go with the Clippers because I do think they're going to be healthy enough to beat the Mavericks. Like I said, if Kawhi comes in and do what he's supposed to, he's going to outbalance what James Harden does. Paul George has been balling. Rest is still there. You still got Ty Lue coaching, and it's like you still got the setup of a championship roster. Like it's time to get it done now. Because if you don't this year, I mean, what you gonna do next year? Like that's when that new calorie sap hit. That's when everything starts to go. That you got to go the whole summer of James Harden still being on your team. And it's like, are you gonna trade him? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? It's gonna be too much. When you got the team now, let's go ahead and make it happen. The Mavericks, it sucks that they're going to be one of the matchups, but that's the Wild Wild West. If you're a championship team, the Mavericks, we're going to have to be one of the teams you beat eventually. So let's go and get it going. I do got the Clippers.
I ain't mad at that. It's just funny how they advertise like Kawhi, James Harden, and Paul George with the new jerseys and the new logos and all that stuff. And you literally might just have one of them play for the Clippers next year. If that, because Kawhi might say, you know what, trade me. Trade me somewhere else. So there's already rumblings about Paul George going somewhere else just because you're not going to have enough money to pay for all this stuff. And if you lose Paul George, that throws everything off because Kawhi is not a guarantee to play all the time. And you left with Norm Powell and James Harden in theory. So,
boy, Russ is gonna be starting next year.
If Russ is starting for the Clippers,
hey, not too much on Russ.
Leave it alone.
Not too much on Russ, but just this ain't OKC Russ anymore. So
that's true.
This ain't Houston. Real quick. Jesus.
Right. It ain't Houston Russ, right. All right, real quick before we get out of here, man, we're gonna run through the offseason outlook. Okay. As the last couple of segments. So the Brooklyn Nets are the next stop on the E-Dash tour. We'll be making a couple more stops next week once the play-in gets squared away. But the Brooklyn Nets are on the E-Dash tour, and they kind of fallen into that Washington Wizards range, man, where it's like nothing good just comes from this team. It's a bunch of mid, man. Ben Simmons ain't playing basketball. You got Cam Thomas who plays well, but it's like empty calories because it doesn't mean that they're gonna win. Nick Claxton's unsure if he's gonna be with the Brooklyn Nets next year. So really, all signs point to Mikal Bridges, and I've been a Mikal Bridges supporter on this podcast, on LBR, on Twitter, everywhere, saying that Mikal Bridges is that guy. But I'm here to say that he is not a number one option. I've been said that. I say he's a great number 3 option. Can be number 2 if you need to be number 2, but having him as your franchise player is not the case. Do y'all think that the Brooklyn Nets can build not even championship, a playoff roster with Mikal Bridges as the number 1 option?
No. He's not, to the point you just made, he's not the number 1 option, and that's the problem. But he is the number 1 option for Brooklyn Nets. And until that changes, until someone says, hey, I'm going to go sign with Brooklyn, or they do some type of wicked trade, this Nets team is going to be mid. And let's not even call it like sub-mid, low-key, because they're not even going to win 500 games or 500 basketball. So they won't be able to get it done, unfortunately. And it almost leads me to say, like, do you trade Mikal Bridges and do something else with that and try to build around, I don't know, Cam and the other one? I don't even know. I don't even care about the Nets.
They don't have good players. I mean, they got good players, but they don't have like a team. Like it's like you got this guy that can get buckets. You got this guy that will he play? Won't he play? Nick Claxton, this guy, he might not be here next year, and you don't have a coach. So it's just like it's a bunch of bullshit.
Bomb it up. Yeah, bomb it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, too.
When you talk about Mikal Bridges, you talk about 20, 23 points a game, 82 games, literally 82 games a season, because that's what Mikal Bridges is. Is he, to answer your question, because you asked the number one option, no. But a second option, yes. The reason I say the second option is because when you look at the Nets and who their starting point guard was most of the season, I told y'all, if y'all want an easy money maker, bet the under for Spencer Dinwiddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, it's money, but if you look at the numbers wise, if I got a point guard that's not producing numbers wise, then how's that helping me as a team? And Cheetah, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. Like, they're just a bunch of players. They're not a team. So my point guard is underperforming. Everybody else, theoretically, is underperforming. So, one, you have to start at getting the point guard on the Nets. That's number one. Or I guess it may be number two after we talk about coaching. What is Kenny Atkinson doing? You may want to call him back and get him back there. But if you got Mikal and a starting point guard, I can see them getting to your answer. To your question, back in the play-ins. I can, honestly. But the questions are, who's going to be on a roster? Nick Claxton may be gone. Cam Johnson still a catch and shooter. Cam Thomas empty, like bucket getter, but it comes from nothing. So to answer your question, they can make a playoff team around Mikal Bridges as a number two, but it's going to take hell of time and patience and a little bit of luck, and that's something that Nets ain't had recently, to be honest with you. Like, even Kevin Durant, big ass toe, like that's luck.
That literally changed the whole trajectory of the Nets. That shot changed the whole trajectory of the Nets. If they would have won that series,
big ass toe.
Who's in Milwaukee? They're playing Milwaukee.
Yeah,
they're playing Milwaukee. They was going back, and Milwaukee won that year. Now, they won that year. So this is like, man.
And Kyrie was hurt too.
Yep.
And James Harden was hurt too, by the way.
Barely. 50-50. But it's hard in the playoffs. So I mean,
I think they're gonna have to trade Mikal Bridges because his value, like after this year, is going to go down. It's going down. Last year, it was iron hot. You got 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, which, I mean, first-round picks ain't the greatest thing in the NBA compared to like the NFL, for example. But like that's an asset that you can move for something else, something younger. Because I think Mikal, like 25, 26. He about to hit his prime, but you know your clock is not on the same page with him, with the team you got around. You got Ben Simmons who can't play, Cam Thomas who's decent, but he's not a starter. You know what I'm saying? So with Mikal, it's like you almost need to trade him for something to get anything back. You still can get value for him, not as high as last year, but I think you got to do something this year because, I mean, clearly he don't want to be there. He want to be in New York with Brunson and Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, his Villanova brother. He won't be there. He don't want to be in Brooklyn. So he kind of just stuck there. So move off from Mikal Bridges, in my opinion. They won't do it, obviously. But I think they should for the betterment of their long-term success. That's what they got to do.
They say, Mikal, it's like when you want punishment to see all your friends outside having fun.
Yeah, literally. You're like, dang, man, I wish I could go outside. Mama tripping. All right, next up is the Toronto Raptors, man. This is a weird year for them. They kind of reaching that midpoint too. But I think what's happened with Toronto is that which I'm not mad about, they sold out for that championship a couple years ago when they won it with
Agreed.
Kawhi, Kyle Lowry. Which I mean, I think the Grizzlies, as an example, would be happy with that as well too, to where you at least get that coveted that first NBA championship, at least on your resume as a franchise. But since then, it's kind of been a slow like decline in terms of like just their success. They've lost more games each year since the championship season. And so now you traded Pascal Siakam, you brought in new players after that trade. You got rid of OG Anunoby. Scotty Barnes is your guy. He was an all-star this year. Granted, it was like a backup all-star, but he was an all-star this year. So you got to say Scotty Barnes is an all-star caliber player. So my question to y'all, given the Raptors and they might get the number 1 pick, if the Raptors get the number 1 pick, what do they do with that pick? Do you keep it? Do you draft somebody? Like, what kind of player would you draft for this team? Or do you trade it for a proven, ready-made player out there in the NBA?
The question I actually got is, do the Raptors even own their pick? High key.
Do they?
I don't know. Like I'm literally looking up this now, and I don't know if that this is top 6 protected. I don't know. I'll look at this later. But regardless of the fact, this goes to my point about some of these other teams that have been eliminated already.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the number 1 pick, you better draft somebody for sure. Let's be honest here.
Correction. So they don't have their number 1 pick. They have a pick from Indiana who is in the playoffs. So to adjust the question, like, so now what do they do going forth? Because you literally don't have anything that you can build around.
Fail. Just tank. It's all over, baby. It ain't nothing to talk about here. Toronto, go ahead and wrap it up then. And don't even let that stress you. Please, Toronto, don't let it stress you.
That is, they do have their pick next year in 2025. And
you know who to get.
Right, you know who to get. It can be Cooper Flag. And you also got Indiana's let me see. Nah, you just get yours. Just get yours next year. So you really like what did the Raptors do when they trade these players? I don't even remember the trades for like OG and Siakam. Like, you really didn't get that much for them, which is why I said like first round picks don't really mean that much if you trade it to a contender who gonna be at like 25, 26 range and not like a lottery range. So it's just, they really are iffed right now, to be honest. Like that ruined my whole question. Like, now I'm just like, what like, okay, so what do the Raptors do in the offseason then?
Right. That's what they do. They pray, they get on their knees and pray and hope these next 82 games go by just as fast as the last 82 went by, baby. Because ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing shaking in Toronto. Dennis Schroeder, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Jacob Patel. It don't even matter who's on their team no more. It don't matter. Grady Dick.
Drake.
It's Drake's fault. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's always Drake's fault. Why do you think the world turned against them?
So I don't have nothing to say about Toronto. When I just looked at that and saw that they don't even have a draft pick for real, go ahead.
It's a whole lot of mid, bro. It's like nothing but role players. Like Ochai Agbaji, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Chris Boucher, Bruce Brown, Grady Dick, Jalen McDaniels. So you don't even get Jaden McDaniels, you get Jalen McDaniels, Kelly Olynyk, Jakob Poeltl, Jonte Porter, who's no longer in the league right now, IQ, Garrett Temple still making checks, and Gary Trent. Man, like, Toronto fans, if y'all here, what the hell do y'all do? Like, what do you look forward to? That's my question. If you are a Raptors fan, what do you look forward to next year?
Look forward to a Drake performance during halftime.
Look forward to the next disc from Drake.
That's it. Because to be honest, again, let's just be called exactly what you said in the beginning. Literally, the Raptors sold their soul to get that ring.
They did. Yeah.
And they got rid of that. They sold the Redstone. You know what I'm saying? And it's over with. Like, you literally are not going to get anything back from them. And none of those players are better than
Has anyone fallen further than Masai Ujiri? Because, like, he was the guy back when they won the championship. Like, I remember New York wanted to hire him away from Toronto. And he was just like, nah, I'm good. And then on top of that, it's been so many like trades that he could have made that he didn't make out of his own arrogance. So really, his stock just collapsed. Like that's crazy. Damn, what's out, Jerry? Hate it had to be you, man. Hate it had to be you, but
everything went into that Jesus shot. That's everything went into that Jesus shot. Once that happened, sure. It took the Warriors to get injured for them to win. Let me shout out Marcus All and Kyle Lowry for winning the championship. My guys.
Damn, bro. Now that you mentioned it, God.
And guess what? Kawhi ain't been healthy since then either. So again, so they sold.
That's crazy, Toronto. Well, try again after next year. Since y'all clearly ain't gonna have they got a pick this year, but it won't be a high pick. So unless you trade Scotty Barnes, which I'm not gonna do. Damn, y'all.
Who's a starting point guard? Speaking of point guard,
either IQ
or Dennis Schroeder.
I think Schroeder got traded, right?
Schroeder he did. Yeah, man.
They got traded. Yeah, so they got IQ.
Oh yeah, Dennis Schroeder with the Nets, ain't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
So they got IQ. I mean, IQ ain't bad, but he's a 6 man. He's not really your starting point guard. So
yeah, that needs to be the first thing they fix over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of that, they picked Grady Dick this year and he got hurt, but he been kind of disappointing just as a player. They were kind of high on, but he just kind of mid, man.
You would say Grady's been ass or Dick's been ass. That's what you were going for. I'll say it for you.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to end the show. It is time to end the show. Yeah, there you go, too. Get up out of here. All right, man. So the play-in starts tomorrow on Tuesday. We'll be back next week to kind of recap what's going on in the first round. And, of course, we'll be back on the E-Dash tour with whoever gets eliminated from the play-in. Hopefully, it's not Sheedy's Miami Heat. Hopefully, it's somebody else that we can talk about because I really want to see the Miami Heat in the NBA playoffs, as well as the Lakers, because I want to see the Lakers play against the OKC Thunder. But we will be back next week. Make sure if you are here, we're 16 subscribers away from that 200. I would love to get there before the end of the playoffs. So let's make sure that we get there, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see y'all next week. Stay safe.
If we still on YouTube.
Be blessed. Peace.